Yo, let's get straight to it, man. The season two,
Season
bro.
two.
Season two of Pantheon. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. I tried to
Yeah.
watch it. I tried to watch it, bro. I tried my best. I got to episode 6, and then I had to skip that shit to go to episode 7. I tried to watch episode 7. I I started to like fast forward a lot of things, and I couldn't finish it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It was a tough watch for me for season 2. The thing is that I felt like I was watching. Look, we went from on season 1, right? We went from just like theory based on like uploaded intelligence. I felt like that was like, it was good, right? Like we seen what could happen if that were to be true, if that were to actually come true, right? Like, and then season 2, I'm thinking that we're about to like pick up the tone, right, to the same with the same vibe. And dude, this just turned to Star Wars, bro. Like I was like, what am I watching, bro? Like people fighting in space now. Man, I got lost in the plot. I'm just like, what's going on, bro? Like, nah, I could not flip and watch it. I'm like, the pace was so slow. The episode 45 minutes. Why is it 45 minutes? It's not an anime. By that point, already the fact that it's 45 minutes every episode, it already makes me feel like it's not an anime. And then the pace is slow. To add to it, why is the pace so slow? Oh my goodness, bro. Like, I don't know. Y'all can tell me why, maybe, like, I guess how it ended and if you guys liked it. And we can talk about the concept, obviously, right? The concept, yeah, sure. We can talk about that. But as far as, like, the anime, like, on its own, dude, I couldn't. I really couldn't, bro. I tried my best, man. I don't know.
I'm surprised you say it felt slow. It was slow because I felt like the ending was a bit rushed. Actually, I felt the opposite. But maybe throughout, yes. But the ending I felt like was really rushed, and I think they could have taken their time on that side of things. And really, the ending really was unexpected for me as well. I didn't see any of it coming. Like, of course, no spoilers, but I didn't see any of how things turned out to be that way. And yeah, I would say I wish they didn't go that far into the future, in a way, and they just kept things real in the present moment, and it wasn't like what it turned out to be. But overall, I still think it's a good anime. I still think the concept is amazing. I think they really went off the chart with the imagination and all of this, and I think overall it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. What about you, Josh?
Honestly, I liked season 2. It was nice. Ending, I agree with Andrew on that, but I liked season 2. It was good. It was nice. I liked how it ended up, gradually becoming, more interesting, especially with Stephen Holstrom, I presume you came to that part, but especially considering how he came back to life, that part really got things going a little bit better. I'm like, wow, okay, now let's see what's going to happen, Let's see what, wannabe Steve Jobs does in this world, So, yeah, man, I like it, bro. I like it. I liked it personally, bro. I liked it personally.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you guys can tell me how it ended, because it's not like I'm going to go back and watch it. So, like, how did it end? What happened with Steven? What happened with Caspian?
So wait, so Chris, I have to ask you, bro. Wait, so what about the season like made you not want to finish it? Was it because it was too slow, or like what exactly made you not want to finish it, bro?
A few things, bro. Like the pacing was horrible. The pacing was horrible. I looked at the, what is it called? The story. I feel like they got confused. Like, why were people, dude? Like, I'm seeing people fight with like sabers and like swords, and then like people, like human beings now being transformed into animals. Like, I felt like I was watching Dragon Ball Z at some point, and then,
bro, that was like simulation, right? Like avatars, in the digital space. That's what it turned out. It's kind of like, you're familiar with like the metaverse, right? Like the concept that Mark Zuckerberg was trying to pitch one time. It's like similar concept, really.
I get that, but don't you think that it got away from what they started though? What they started with, the idea of what they started with, right? I feel like it got away from it. You guys don't see that?
Personally, I don't think it did. No, I don't see. I don't see it. But please continue. What was you said the pacing, right?
Dude, the pacing. I feel like the pacing was horrible. I feel like they got away from the original story. I feel like I'll give you an example, right? They introduce what's the oh, I don't know if they gave it a name, but that's that black thing that would like swallow you up and everything. Pause. That black thing that would swallow you up, like if it touches you.
Yeah, that was surf, safe surf.
Yeah.
They introduced it, but I feel like there was no tension around that. Like you introduced something like that, right? And I'm watching it, but I'm like, it was very like we were just supposed to know like what the heck this shit is. Like there was no what is this thing? Like I don't know. Like you introduce a foreign kind of like thing that comes into the show that's able to actually destroy these uploaded people, but it's brushed off very quickly. And even when they did try to explain it, there was no built up to it. Like, how you guys have 45 minutes to do an episode, and it's tough to get into it. I don't know. To me, it was tough, bro. It was a tough watch.
No, I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand, but I don't know, bro. Yeah, I see a little bit how you're seeing it as well, but I feel like maybe there was just timing in production wise, and maybe there was just like there was pressure on them to sort of end it. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the factors that led to them having to now make it like that. I wouldn't lie, the ending for me wasn't. I didn't expect it to go like that necessarily. Maybe if they wanted to make it a bit more cosmic, they should have sort of like added an extra season, just to go into a different type of realm instead of just, okay, this is main technology. Now it's going more like, it is kind of sci-fi, but it's going more cosmic. It's going more into the universe. And like, it's kind of difficult to like, kind of just conceptualize once you've sort of dealt with like being uploaded already, So I just feel like the ending could have been a bit better for me. Other than that, I understand how you're seeing it, bro. I just feel like, I feel like they did okay, I feel like it was okay. Another thing I think they could have done is they could have gone a little bit more deep into surf, like how you were saying, like you were kind of like not really sure about surf. I feel like they could have gone more deeper into that, just to like help us understand. Okay, more about surf, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, how did it end?
Let me try and refresh my memory. So basically, at some point, it ended up with Caspian and what's that girl's name? What's that girl's name again? Caspian and the girl, right? They ended up being in this like sort of, I wouldn't say it's a void. What would you call it?
Is it the
which one? What even black thing that they? What, bro?
Which girl? Mist or Maddie?
You're saying, bro?
His girlfriend, right?
Maddie, yes, Maddie's the girl. Yeah, Maddie's Caspian. Well, Maddie ends up becoming Caspian's girlfriend. Yeah. So actually, at some point, Caspian also has a son. He ends up being a dad. Did you know that, Chris?
Yeah, I saw that. Like the guy, because they had sex before he got uploaded, and then I guess he didn't wear any rubber, bro. This guy just fucking shut the club, bro.
How can you be that smart, bro? How can you be that smart? You don't go a rubber.
Bro, he was about to be uploaded, bro. He was about to be uploaded. Wouldn't you just...
Oh, but he was surprised.
Bro.
He was.
I think Maddie planned the whole thing. Like, she planned it, bro. She planned it to the T. Like, yo, this guy is the love of my life. I'm with him forever. So, you know what? I'm gonna give him some of this shit. And, you know, make sure that, like, you know, Rob,
Bro.
like, for real, I feel like she planned it.
Nah, bro, nah. Bro, if I'm the smartest guy, bro, if I'm one of the smartest guy, I'm a teen prodigy, bro. I'm not gonna waste my sperm on no girl I just met, bro, because the world's gonna end. No, bro, what the hell? Bro, bro, nah, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy.
Power?
Man, because thing is, he didn't even know, like, he had a kid. Like, he was surprised. Like, what? I have a son? Like, he didn't even know, bro. So it's like, how can you be that smart and you forget? Come on, bro. Like, you forget to pull out, bro. You gotta strategize this. Like, you gotta just make sure, bro, you pull out, bro. I mean, come on. Hey, man.
Bro.
Hey.
I'm telling you, bro, like, Maddie planned
What if that's what he wanted to?
Like, he wanted to...
Yeah, okay. Oh, you're saying, Chris, what if you wanted to not pull out? Or we're staying there?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we're assuming that that's not what he wanted. Like, maybe that's what he wanted. He's smart, just like you said. So maybe that's what he wanted to do, you know?
Oh, he's smart.
Yeah.
Hey, it's what I want. That's what I want. Damn. That's just diabolical, bro. That's diabolical. I'm gonna think way ahead of you. I'm gonna plot my seed in you, cause you know that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Hey, nah, Catherine is diabolical for that, bro. Diabolical for that.
Yo, so what happened with
you
Steven?
remember my question?
Huh?
I'm saying, like, you remember my question after we watched season 1, and I asked you guys, like, do you think this show needs a new season? Because I felt like season 1 was it, bro. Like, you know what? You guys introduced this new concept to us, and you nailed it. You know what I'm saying? So watching season 2, the way, as Chris stated, bro, it was a hard watch. Like, the episodes felt longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, this anime, mind you, one episode is 40-something minutes long, bro. It's long already. You know what I'm saying? But with season 2, it felt longer. You know what I'm saying? It felt like some shit was not even making sense. Like, bro, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? I felt like this when we watched season 1. Like, yo, this thing doesn't need season 2. But you guys were like, nah, we got some questions that we need answered. Well, you got your answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your answers. And yeah, I mean, season 1 was it for me, bro. Like, season 2 was just a hard watch. And they could have done better, you know. They just could have done better overall. And they could have just cut the fucking episode short, man. Like 30 minutes at least. Get to the point. Like, let's get to the point. Let's see where we're trying to go with this whole thing. You know, because now we see Pope and he's fucking old, bro. And it's like, what? You know, like, somehow Maddie's father can talk to Caspian. You know, and that also, like, brought in, like, wait, isn't Dude supposed to be gone? Like, for real? You know? So there was a lot of, like, it just left me with, like, a lot of questions. And, yeah. And like, my question is, how are the humans fighting against UIs when humans created UIs? You know, like, we guys can just wipe you out, right? Like, we created you, bro. Like, don't get it twisted. You have no power. So that also, like, was an interesting concept where, like, they trying to find common ground where, like, they can both coexist. And I felt like that killed the concept that they introduced, you know. So
but I think the UIs, the reason why they were in a position now where they could kind of negotiate with the UIs is because the UIs also, they have a bit of power, you know. They can also, I think, do cause damage or do things in the, although they're limited to the digital world, but they also have control of that. Like, if you look at Mist, the sister of Maddie, you can see she has some power and she's able to do certain things. So though they're UIs and all that, they are able to now, you know, it's just like us getting to a point where maybe AI can take over and do all these things. You know, the doom and gloom that we talk about. So I guess that's what they're trying to now portray in the whole thing. So I don't think it's as easy as just wiping out UIs.
I mean, UIs have power in a world where like there's technology. We take this shit back to the Stone Age, bro. You know, like they just cease to exist.
Yeah, but now you have loved ones also in the system, so you'll be killing.
Come on, man. Loved ones, they died, man. Like, come on, man. Loved ones.
No, some people went in their life. Like, look at how this technology works. It's not like you die. But
come on, man.
If I'm not mistaken, you were the person who was optimistic about this technology in one. So they didn't die.
Whoa. That was last year, bro. That was last year, me.
They evolved.
New year, new me, nigga.
Listen to this guy.
That was last year. That was last year, me, bro. That was last year, bro. New year, new me. I ain't playing around. I ain't playing around like that. Like, nah, that was me last year, bro. Now I'm open to dying. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to the possibilities of, you know what? I think I'm okay with that.
Come on.
You know, I mean, come on. Okay. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. You know?
You ready? Absolutely, man. I think everybody is allowed to change their mind. You know, definitely. So
yeah, okay.
Topic, what changed? What made you now say? Yeah, Chris, you were saying something.
I mean, like, I sent you guys that video, and, you know, it was basically like what Chris did, I think, a week before, 2 weeks before. So when I saw that, I was like, man, yeah. And also, like, you know, I think Chris spoke about the thing that makes life worth living is the fact that, like, someday you are going to die, so you need to accomplish certain things, you know what I'm saying? So living with the uncertainty is what pushes you, like, drives you to, like, just go for your goals, you know, work hard or whatever, get richer, just do whatever, like, you want to do, because, like, at the end, like, you're just going to die, so you want to live a full life. So with the idea, like, living with the idea of not dying, you kind of become lazy, like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm still going to be around, like, in, like, the next 100 years or whatever, so it's whatever, you know? So you lose that drive, that ambition, that hunger. And for me, as an ambitious person, as a workaholic, it's like, I don't know how to live without that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to live without that. Like, I be having lazy days and I feel guilty for just sitting around and watching anime or whatever. I feel guilty. Like, I've been sitting around for 8 hours watching anime. I gotta get my ass up and do something. You know what I'm saying? So that thing, I feel like if I have to live forever, that thing is gonna die. And without that, who am I without, you know what I'm saying, like, that drive, that hunger, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to live life without that. So yeah, that's what changed. I know that was long as that. Yeah.
Nah, bro.
I agree.
I think they're valid points, but I have two questions. The first question is, I think you guys, when you say this, you look at it from the standpoint of, like, you know, the normal lifespan, right? So you go from birth to maybe the age 90, 100, something like that, and that's good, right? But what will happen to people who don't get that far? Like someone who, you wake up on a casual day, you made your plans, you made your goals and things you want to do, and bam, something happens and then you're gone. What meaning should that person then give to that life?
Okay, I got an answer for you, right?
Yeah.
So,
sorry, bro. Could you please repeat that question?
I'll say it. He said, if someone wakes up, right, and then he makes his list of goals and whatnot, he writes them down, and then something happens to him, and then he passes away, right? So, what is the meaning behind that? I think I'm paraphrasing, but that's what you basically said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is just like, even that alone, right? There is meaning to it. It's part of life, right? Like, we don't get to choose how it ends, right? And it's not like he knew he was going to die, right? And that's what I guess I understand in the way what you're saying is like that's what might suck a little bit because you don't know when you're going, right? You don't know when it's your time. And because you don't know when it's your time, that's why it makes like that's why every moment is worth it. We don't know. Right now we're on stream, we're talking. A meteor could just flip and, land on Earth and then be all wiped out. Like, we don't know, all right? So the thing is that to answer your question, I'm saying, like, that's also part of life. And it was destined that he goes out that way, right? Like, it might suck. Obviously, it sucks, but that's what was supposed to happen, As suckish as it might sound.
Okay. Anybody else has an answer to that or something to add to that? Then I'll ask my second question.
Nah, I think Chris nailed it. Yeah.
Okay. Again, valid point, Chris. Valid point. Honestly, I don't think it's satisfactory as an answer. But that's just a personal opinion.
Yeah, but then wait.
Thing that could get from.
Wait, before you continue, right? I wanted to say something. You said it's not satisfactory, right? But like that's your ego talking, right? Like you keep. There's so many things about life that is not satisfactory, right? Like, and. Like, you don't get to choose what family you're born into. Like, you don't get to choose who your mom, your dad, your siblings. You don't get to choose your environment. So it's like, that's also not satisfactory, right? Like, some people were born, like, I don't want to get too political, but, like, some people are born in areas where they're being bombed, right? Like, is that satisfactory to them? Like, it's unfair, right? And that's the number one rule, right, in life. It's like, life is not fair. When you're born, I think that should be like in the hospital, right? It should be written there, like, yo, life is not fair. The moment you're born, even though you don't know what the fuck is going on, you should see that shit right there, because that's just life. It is not fair. So whether it's satisfactory or not, hey man, boo-hoo, bro.
So I need to first clarify, right? I'm not afraid of death. That's one. So I'm not afraid of death. All this here is not for me arguing like, oh no, because of course it's part of life. There's nothing you can do about it, whether you hate it or not. What I'm against is people trying to give it some type of meaning because it's the only way they can deal with it. You understand? Like, how should I put it? Because, for example, you guys, your argument was that, it gives life meaning. Kelvin was talking about how, he sits down all day and he feels like he has to do something, because he's going to die. And I want to give you an example. Take a child, right? A child who is 4 or 5 years old, right? And they wake up and then they always want to do things. They want to get the wonders and joy out of life. That child finds meaning and finds fun in just living. I don't think that child is thinking of death in order to find meaning in what they're doing now. Or do you disagree with that?
Wait, sorry, bro. Could you repeat that, bro?
So I'm saying to Josh. So if you take a child, right? Take like a 6-7 year old child. That child wakes up every day, sees life as adventurous, trying to live, trying to do fun activities and all those kind of things. So you can tell that child find meaning in life itself and in the enjoyment and the adventure of it. I don't think he necessarily needs the definition of or the idea of, I'm going to die one day in order to find meaning in the life he's living now. I feel like us saying the whole death gives meaning to life is something we give ourselves as adults to be able to cope with the idea of death. And not necessarily the case or the death is necessary for us to find meaning in life, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, that's a good point because essentially what you're doing is when you look at death, it's like you're being pressured to live now instead of living because you want to live a meaningful life. So, but yeah, I totally agree, bro. That's a very good point.
I disagree, bro. I disagree.
Tell me. I welcome your idea, bro. Let's hear it.
Because the thing is, like at this point, right? Because we're not even talking about in totality. You said a 5-year-old. That's not in totality. Like unless he was to die there, right? And, yeah, he was able to find meaning in his. What?
Not necessarily a 5-year-old, but a child, basically.
In life, in adventure. Think about when you were a child, bro. Let's not use some arbitrary child. Let's use you as an example. When you were a child, did you think of that? Like, I'm sure you reached a certain age when you started thinking of that, right? But before then, you were just living your life. Oh, I want a PlayStation. Oh, I want to draw this. I want to watch this anime. You were just finding joy and wonders in life. And so I'm saying you don't necessarily need death to give you that meaning in that moment. So,
okay.
Again, and
the thing is, like, even though I wasn't thinking about it, right?
Stop trying to give death a positive thing. It is not a positive thing. Yeah.
Okay. To answer your question, right, even though I was not thinking about it, it was already hardwired in me. We, as human beings, right, we program from a millennia. We're not programmed from 2026. So if we were to have kids, if I were to have kids right now, right, my kid is DNA. It's a millennia of DNA that is programmed into that kid. So even if he's not cognizant of like, oh, I'm going to die, he's aware somehow. He's aware that for whatever reason his time is short. Like there's a reason why a kid wants certain things now, and like there's just things that we pass down. We pass down on kids, right? That without wanting to, right? Whether it's trauma, whether it's certain traits and whatnot. But like human beings, like in general, we are programmed from a millennia. It's not something that. So to your point, I would say that we probably are aware of it, but not in the sense of like as an adult where we are actually thinking like, oh, you could die in this way, you could die in this way, and then you have to make plans and you got to find a job, you got to make money, you got to do X, Y, Z. Not in that way, right? But I think that there's still some type of awareness, right? Even as a kid, there's still some type of awareness.
Yeah, bro. But again, the whole point of all this for me is to be like, I don't think we should romanticize death and give it some type of, I still think in grand scheme of things, I do hope there is an afterlife, because that I think for me would be way more meaningful than you end and then you cease to exist forever. That for me then is like it's just sad. It's just sad. I love life, and I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death either. But yeah, I was just trying to just make that case for like, I just have a bit of a contrarian view on that idea of, death gives you that thing of you need to know you're gonna die one day. Because some people make plans and then tomorrow they're gone. And so what happens to the plan? It just disappears. That was my point though.
I mean, that's part of life. That's part of life. I would say that, right? Because you said that you're not a fan of nobody's trying to romanticize death, right? It's actually the opposite, because you're trying to be more grateful for life, right? For being alive, because it's like 1 to a trillion, right? Chances that 1 to 4 trillion chances that you are born. The thing's like you're looking at it like a bad thing, right? Like, and like I said even before, right, on the stream before, like we looking at it like from a position where it's suckish and it's bad, but it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, yeah, maybe because we're calling it death, right? But it doesn't have to be called death, right? Or at least that's the name that we gave it to and we tried to make meaning of it. You know what this anime reminded me of, right? It reminded me of Naruto, Madara's idea, right? The Tsukiyomi, Infinite Tsukiyomi, where Madara wanted people to live, like he understood that pain in this world, right? It's inevitable, right? People will feel pain regardless. So he basically was like, yo, I'm going to create this infinite Tsukiyomi and put everyone into a sleep dream or a dream sleep, with, whatever comes first, and give them the life that they want. And like this upload thing kind of like, it reminded me of